Right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And we're here today back again today, actually, with Tasik Mumin of the ACCEP-IEHP program, which is the Success program. Excuse that. I'll give it. So, Tasik, today we're going to be discussing a lot about the Success program with regards to international educated health professionals who are here in Canada and and you are an employment specialist of the ACCEP-IEHP program at Success. Tasik is a dedicated career service professional and adult educator specializing in supporting newcomers as they integrate into the Canadian workforce. With a strong background in community outreach and client-focused support, he connects immigrants and refugees with essential services and resources. Drawing on his own lived experiences as an immigrant, Tasik fosters understanding, empathy, and trust with clients while advocating for diversity inclusion through community initiatives. He holds two master's degrees in English and language and literature. Tasik, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to our members. So I'm going to hand this over to yourself, sir, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ian. I really appreciate your time and for the introduction for me. I'm going to go over with my presentation. And yes, it's a long name for our program, so the SCCP IEHP. We try to call it a little easier, so I have IEHP. So trying to make it life easier.
We
Okay.
appreciate that.
All right,
Thank you.
no problem. Okay, so here we begin. So I would like to start taking a moment about telling about who Success is and what the program offers. Through this presentation, I'm going to share those details. And this program, particularly what it offers and how it can benefit someone who has a background in international medical degree. And definitely, we are going to talk about that thing. And at the end of the session, definitely we will have the opportunity to ask me some questions as well. So that's how we have designed it. So let's get started. All right. So first, a few details about Success, who Success is, because I'm sure some of you might be joining from different parts of Canada. So I'm just giving an overview of Success so that you have some understanding about who's or what Success does. And there, so let's get started. So was founded in 1973. We are the largest nonprofit in service provider in British Columbia with over 35 locations across Canada and Asia. We actually have two overseas locations, and we also serve more than 80,000 clients annually from over 150 countries. And there are two programs because I'm from our Toronto location, so there are two programs from our Ontario location. So we have two programs. One is the AEAP I have IHP and another one is Active Engagement and Integration Project. Then, so what we do, so through these project, long name of IHP, I for IHP, so we help uh, international educated health professionals to integrate into Canada's healthcare workforce. So we do it through four different levels of support. So comprehensive support for international educated health professionals whom we call IEHPs, and personalized career coaching and career and employment readiness training, then guidance on licensing and credentialing, and career development support. Then we also have subsidized placements in entry level healthcare roles. So before we move into telling about the program, I would like to go for why the program actually exists. The program exists because we identified there are several barriers that international educated health professionals face when they want to get back to work in Canadian healthcare sector. So we have identified four different challenges. One is the licensing and accreditation because healthcare is a strictly regulated profession in Canada. So someone with an international medical degree has to go through the licensing process back again here in Canada, even though they are qualified back home, have maybe internationally recognized degree as well, but Canada Def has a different system in place. So the licensing and accreditation process is really lengthy and complex, and there are also high costs involved. It costs for training and licensing and certification. There are fees. There are a lot of different stages you might be missing out on. If you are failing one exam, you might have to retake that exam, and that definitely costs you money more. So there are also another lack of Canadian work experience. So although some of the provinces, including Ontario, have recently said that employers no longer can request for Canadian work experience, but we know that there still is a chance that some employers are actually requesting something like that, maybe in a different wording, but it's similar to that. It's still there, it exists there. So limited opportunities to gain practical experience. Someone with clinical experience, someone with a medical experience and back home, for them to practice in a clinical setting is extremely limited in the Canadian healthcare system because there are little room for clinical exposure for someone who is not a licensed healthcare worker in Canada. So that's why there are limited opportunities to gain practical hands-on experience in the clinical setting. Then for the limited knowledge of career pathways. So many IHPs are often unaware of alternative healthcare roles they qualify for and lack of guidance on transitioning into the workforce. So it's more like that there are avenues of opportunities that exist for someone who is an international medical graduate while you are waiting for your licensure. So you will be still taking the exams and all those things, but while you are waiting for your licensure, what are the things that you still can do? What opportunities are there that your healthcare experience and background can work? There are limited knowledge on those career pathways for someone who is an internationally educated healthcare professional in Canada. So navigating the Canadian job market can be difficult and challenging. So it's definitely the unfamiliarity with Canadian work culture and communication norms. Many request support in writing Canadian style resumes and cover letters. So these are the four different barriers we have identified. And based on this, the program was designed to support internationally educated healthcare professionals to integrate into Canadian labor market. And we do this through two stages. One is the pre-arrival support, and the other one is through once they land in Canada, so in Canada support. So when they're in the pre-arrival support stage, when they're still outside of Canada, holding probably a visa to come to Canada as a permanent resident, in that stage, we can support them through credentialing guidance and career preparation before they move to Canada. Because as I said earlier in the last slide, you saw that the licensing is long and it can be costly as well. So if you can prepare yourself before moving to Canada and maybe take up one or two of those exams before moving to Canada, which might be possible for some of the uh, regulated healthcare professionals, then that might be helping you save some time as well as some money before you move to Canada. Then in Canada, the support that we provide is what is more one-on-one coaching through job search assistant and also subsidized placement. So these are the various licensed healthcare professions that our program supports. So as you can see on the screen, it's a lot of different healthcare professions from doctors and nurses to primary healthcare to allied healthcare, also dentists, pharmacies, as well as social worker in healthcare setting. So I won't be reading out all the names, but definitely there are all of those regulated healthcare professions that we support. So if you're into any one of them, we would be glad to support you. So for our the eligibility part of this program, so if someone who is looking for pre-arrival support for our program, then in that case, we definitely look for someone who is an international educated health professionals with a valid Canadian visa. So that visa has to be a permanent residency visa. Unfortunately, we cannot offer our services to someone with a work permit or someone who's still at the stage of planning to move to Canada without any official immigration document in their hands. Then, uh, if someone is a permanent resident, naturalized Canadian citizen, doesn't matter when they become a Canadian citizen or how long they're in Canada, as long they're a naturalized Canadian citizen or someone who is a person who has been granted a refugee status in Canada, and if you are an internationally educated health professionals, doesn't matter how long ago you've passed those or obtain those kind of degrees or diploma, we are able to support you. Then you might have lack of Canadian work experience in terms of in healthcare roles. Then you are unemployed or currently working less than 20 hours per week, and your language level is at CLB 6 or above. In that case, we can support you. So at the pre-arrival stage, so what we just went through in the last few slides is it's actually not as elaborate as in the last slide that you saw. So at the pre-arrival stage, we offer one-on-one case management and personalized support because we value that everyone's licensing journey is unique. Because if you are a doctor uh, moving from, suppose, Venezuela, and if you're a doctor moving from Thailand, and if you're a doctor moving from Nigeria, all your licensing journey would be different and unique because there would be different levels of support that you would need. And so, for that reason, we will offer personalized support and also case management support so that we know that what kind of supports we have already provided and what we need to build on so that you can become more successful in your licensing and healthcare career in Canada. Then we offer webinars and services and resources and credentialing. So those services and resources and credentialing um, webinars will help you identify what would be my best course of action so that when I'm moving to Canada, I know that these are the things that I need to do, or whether I can start doing some of those steps even before I move to Canada. So that's the whole point of why we have these kind of webinars on services, resources, and credentialing for each of the healthcare professions that we serve, we provide our services for. Then profession-specific workshops on Canadian FCR credentialing and licensing procedures. FCR is Foreign Credential Recognition. So that is a government, Canadian government supported program. So which offers support for people who has a foreign degree, so that they can validate those degrees in the can or have some equivalency status for those kind of degrees in the Canadian workspace or labor market. So those workshops that we offer those things so that you know that what kind of FCR credentialing steps you need to go for and what are the licensing procedure for your specific healthcare profession. Then once you land in Canada, then our support services are becomes uh, a little bit more broadened. There are more chances for us to support you. So we offer one-on-one career coaching to prepare for the integration. Then Canadian workplace culture training, we offer it through cohort training. And also, if you require individuals supports, we also provide individualized support too. Then career readiness workshop and interview coaching, and access to subsidized work placements, which can last 12 to 16 weeks. Then here is the way that we help prepare for success in the Canadian healthcare system. So we offer our services through one of the first major step to provide you the support is to go through one of our 6-day career and employment readiness training. Although we call it in person, you can see it on the slide, but we also offer it virtually. But definitely, if we have, because we offer our services throughout Canada, so people might join from various parts of Canada, so it might be difficult for someone from maybe Niagara and someone from maybe someone joining us from Alberta and someone is joining us from uh, maybe from New Brunswick might be difficult. So that's why we have both in person and virtual cohort training. So those training offer cover certain topics like job search strategies and networking, resume and cover letter writing, Canadian workplace culture and communication, mock interviews and career exploration, and an overview of the healthcare sector and labor market trends in Ontario. Because it's written as in Ontario, but we also cover it for other provinces too. If we have more people from other provinces, then we also offer specific training for one particular province, which is not definitely Ontario, a different one. So that's also we are doing currently. Next, here is a testimonial from one of our clients. So that showcases our impact and how the program supports someone who is an IHP. So the employment readiness training with AHIP IHP has been an invaluable learning experience for my professional career. I now feel more prepared to handle professional interactions in a manner that aligns with Canadian workplace expectations. So one of our clients, after going through our training, could surely say that they have more understanding of Canadian workplace expectations and norms. So that definitely can help you be more confident and prepared when you go for an interview in your field. Then there are individualized support. So we offer one-on-one job search support. So those job search support can be guidance on job search strategy and optimizing your applications so that you know that what roles you are good for and what roles you can apply even without having any Canadian licensure in healthcare field. Then for career counseling, explore career paths in Canadian healthcare field. Then resume and cover letter review. We offer those tailored feedback so that you can optimize your applications for Canadian roles. Then we also offer mock interview support, practicing interview skills to set yourself up for the success in the Canadian healthcare roles. So here's another testimonial from another one of our clients. So the personal revenue resume review and the one-on-one coaching sessions were also of great assistance in mapping out my career path, providing me with personalized feedback to improve my job applications. Because it's very important to know that what is your skill sets, what is your transferable skills, and how to really write them in a way so that the Canadian employers can understand and validate those for their needs, their workforce need. So that's where our support is invaluable, so that when we help someone put those kind of support in their resume writing or cover letter writing, it definitely helps them to have a better resume and they are getting interview calls just because we provided that kind of support. Then we also have this opportunity to have a work placement which can last 12 to 16 weeks. But I must warn you that this is not something that is a guaranteed one. But we offer our paid entry-level experience in healthcare settings. So if you find a job yourself, the paid workplace placement and the wage subsidy for the employer still works. So that work placement can last from 12 to 16 weeks so that the employers are confident to hire you because they when they are training you, because initially in most Canadian work settings the first 3 to 4 months are considered as the training period. So during those training period, if there is a financial incentive to hire you, so then the employers feel more confident to hire you because they might find that what the value that you bring over this period so that they will be going to keep you for a long term employment. So the paid entry level experience in healthcare setting is also what our program mandate is. So we won't be pressing you into somewhere else. We will be pressing you into a healthcare role. Then the ongoing support through placement monitoring and on-site check-in. So even after you land a job, for our program, we always need to go for providing you that kind of support. So that sorry about that. So through our program, we offer that kind of support so that uh, you can place monitoring as after your placement we can monitor how you're performing, so we talk to your manager or supervisors trying to understand whether you are facing some barriers while you're still at work and how to help you improve, so that we provide those kind of guidance to you when you are in a placement as well. So, what other opportunities are there? So, here is something that I must say that the program also offers mentorship opportunities to industrial professionals. Uh, so we connect our clients to someone within their profession so that they have ideas about how someone who is themselves and maybe an IHP or who is already working in Canadian healthcare field got into those kind of healthcare roles, and what was their journey like, and what would be the practical advice someone might be getting, so that someone who's an internationally educated healthcare professionals can take those advice, apply them for their steps to getting in back into Canadian healthcare roles. So that definitely is something that can support their own journey at the same time. So, workshops on Canadian workplace culture and equity, diversity, and inclusion to ensure cultural alignment and inclusivity is also another avenue for our program support. Then we also offer mental health and wellness workshops to maintain well-being throughout the transition process. As I already mentioned earlier, that the transition period can be long. It can be at least 1 year to more than 2 years. So within that period, we understand that the mental health and wellness is something we really value. So we offer those kind of workshop so that throughout your licensing journey, you can be supported. Then we also have the access to the job bulletin that only the program, our program participants can access to, and they can apply. So current openings from our employer partners include home care aid, nurse in a long-term care facilities, and also others. Similarly, other than the wave subsidy component and the paid placement opportunity from our program, there is another avenue for financial support for key work-related expenses. So, you are applying for a job, and then you come to learn that they need you to have a criminal record check, because many of the Canadian healthcare rule require that you have a vulnerable sector check or criminal record check, or you might be needing some uniform, you might be needing some standard first aid or CPR license, or maybe shirt nursing shoes to perform your duties, or short-term credentials like phlebotomy or diabetic technology or whatever. So we will offer our financial support so that you can cover those costs on behalf of you. So uh, make sure that please note one thing, as you can see on the screen as well. So we cannot provide financial support for licensing or bridging education, but can connect clients to services that do. So we always get questions like, do we support with the exam fees? Do we support with the credentialing exams? Or do we support with preparation or courses or bridging courses? So unfortunately, our program doesn't have that much fun, but we definitely try to connect you to some other programs which offer similar supports. Then here are the addresses or contact details from our program. As I mentioned earlier, that our program runs from both Vancouver and Toronto locations, so you have the chance to connect with me through the Toronto office. The email address and phone number, as well as our locations details, are provided on the screen. So we would welcome to see you in our Toronto office. And if you are someone who is coming from Vancouver, joining us here today from Vancouver, feel free to join us, connect to our Vancouver office as well. Then, how do you get started? So, how do you register? So there are 5 steps. The first step is complete our eligibility questionnaire. So mention that you were referred by your organization, attended this information session with me so that it gets easier for us to track you. And then complete the registration form. We will share with you the registration form and a link, and also share with you the eligibility questionnaire. Then attend a virtual intake meeting with one of our case managers, and the individualized accreditation and career plans will be set up at the next stage. Then you start your journey with our program. So it means that what would be the next step? So the next steps would be so eligibility questionnaire. So I might be sharing those eligibility questionnaire with you in the chat. So I think that I'm sure that I would be happy to share this with among you, so that you can take those eligibility questionnaire and move from there. And then after you have completed the eligibility questionnaire, then our team will reach out to you requesting you for if you're eligible for the program, then requesting you to register for the program. Then your next step would be to book an intake assessment so that one of our case managers can have a session with you, which would last 1 hour, trying to understand what your background and experience is, what is your short, medium, and long term career plan. And based on those, we will create an action plan to support you, and based on that, we will definitely hope to support you in a way so that you become successful in a Canadian healthcare role. So definitely we need a few documents for your intake. So we need you to have your PR card or your second ID, such as your driver license, or Ontario, if you're from Ontario, Ontario uh, identity card, or showing to your case manager during the intake assessment. And SIN paper or SIN card showing to the case manager during the intake assessment. But please note that we don't record any one of these information because of the privacy laws. So here is our upcoming session that's coming to sessions for the cohort that would be happening in December 15, from December 15 to December 22. So we are accepting clients now. So if you were interested, please register today. I'm going to share the details to you as well. So now, here is another impact testimonial from one of our clients again. So, I only wish that I had learned of this program sooner after arriving in Canada, though, because it would have helped me better transition into the workforce. Overall, this training has been an invaluable part of my career advancement, and I would certainly recommend it to other internationally educated healthcare professionals. So, definitely it shows that the program does help everyone to succeed at the same time. So here is the contact details. So you can see that for our Toronto office, you can see that that email address is provided there. And for our upcoming info session, even if you are planning to learn more about our program, then you can join our program information session that happens every Tuesday, usually at 10 a.m. And also sometimes it happens on Thursdays, which would be at 2 p.m. Every Thursday. But it might depend depending on how many people register. But you can always register with us and reach out to us through email so that we can provide you more accurate information whether or when the next information session is happening. And On the screen, the QR code is also there. So if you feel like visiting our website and getting access to the eligibility form, you can scan the QR code as well.
That's thank you.
Okay, so that's it from me, my end. And welcome the opportunity to ask questions now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now.
I don't have questions. What I have is saying everyone on the chats right now is saying thank you for sharing this. There's concerns that there's some exploitation of internationally educated health professionals in certain areas of Ontario. I'm not going to comment specifically, but a lot of appreciation for sharing this. So, our association deals primarily with those starting off their careers. So, and I just want to clarify when you're talking about the pre-arrival stage in this process, that is before you come to Canada. So you're working with you don't offer immigration supports, am I correct?
No,
So
no,
just for
we don't
clarity,
offer.
okay,
If you already have a peer, only then we can offer our service.
wonderful. I
Yeah.
just want to clarify to anyone watching, this is not an immigration support. This is a support for those who have secured permanent residency, are in Canada, that you're starting off and you're an internationally educated health professional. So these would be, for example, let's just say for our association, we do our best to offer supports to internationally educated nurses, midwives, and some surgeons, but there's a lot we don't. So we simply can't. They don't align with our threshold. So, for example, this would be ideal if you're an internationally educated physiotherapist or dentist or pharmacist. Pharmacists are the one we get a lot of, and they're not quite sure what to do. And if they have their PRs, they can come and work with your company to help do some work. Okay, that's excellent to know. Um, the other question I think we're looking at is the individualized. No, sorry, it was the training and everything. So, when it comes to what kind of training does your organization subsidize? Like, can you give an example of training that uh, someone might be getting that you would be able to subsidize? That would be something that our members or the population would be able to use. Or
Well, once someone is registered through our program, then suppose you might be needing support to maybe you have a background in front desk support in a medical setting, maybe a medical receptionist, maybe as an office assistant in a medical setting. Okay, so maybe I'm just giving you one example. Maybe you are someone who is looking for a short course for EMR training, electronic medical record training. So we will provide you the uh, cost that is associated with that short training, and we will pay for you upfront for you so that you have to make sure that you have enough time to respond so that you are not targeting something that happens next week because we need to process the payment and everything. So it takes some time. So, so you just tell us that you will be needing this thing maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. You're planning to take that training, so, and then once you let us know, then we will process the payment for you on your behalf and pay on behalf of you, and you will get the chance to pay attend the course. So those kind of courses, there are also phlebotomy courses, then there are short diabetic courses, there are also first aid and CPR licenses that we offer uh, our financial assistant for. So even if it is something like it's not only one support, so if you need additional supports, it depends because it depends on different roles. Some roles might be requesting that you need to have a vulnerable police check, you need to have phlebotomy certification, you need to have first aid and CPR, and you also might need nursing shoes, all four of them.
you
So
know,
if all four of them are required and we have enough funding for that particular month, definitely we will try to provide all four supports for one individual. So it's not only specific to one thing. So it depends on what are the pre-employment conditions from the employer. So if the employer demands more, definitely we can provide more supports.
that's fascinating. Wonderful. So does the because we spoke earlier this morning on the employer element of this project. How does one find? And I guess the question is, we have members that are members of our association that are permanent residents. Are there a specific employer? Do the employers need to be partnered with you for you to work with their employer, or how does it work? Like, how do they have specific employers that host this program that they work with and that's how it's done, or is this separate? So I just want the services, the career supports. Is that something separate? Just making sure we understand that this separation.
Okay, so the employer partnership that we have, we love to call anyone who wants to work with us as an employer partner.
Okay.
So that's the easiest way to work with that because in that way, what happens that uh, it's not something one time. So it's not something that can happen only once and we forget. It's not like that. So, and at the same time, we are always looking for more employer partners because uh, we might not be physically be able to move to maybe New Brunswick, but we might be able to support them from here. We might be supporting an employer from maybe from Kingston, Ontario. Maybe because of the distance and everything, we probably cannot physically support them from our location. But our program's mandate is to support them through all our employer networks through various stages. So even if your business or your organization is located far away from us, we will still offer. So basically, there is no distinction. That is not that someone has to be part of our program and then only we can support them. It's not something like that. So it's more like for employer partners, even if you are hiring only one person, then our program supports them. Even if you are hiring more than 2, 20, 30%, the program offers continues to support them as many hires they require to run their operations.
Awesome. Okay, that's awesome. Sorry, I just want to make sure there was a.
No, no, that's
So
fine.
it's
That's
like
fine.
it's not like it's an employer for. I could just come in off like if I'm a PR, if I have a PR, I can just come in and get your services.
Of
Okay.
course, of course. That's the thing. Yes.
So yeah, because I think there's a lot to learn. I think the one thing that I think is important and the value of your training specifically in this program is it's not easy immigrating into any country, but Canada, there's a lot of different challenges, and we're in a strange time here with how we're aging a population. So there's still a demand for a lot of healthcare workers, and our government seems to be changing things regularly when it comes to credentialing. So it's almost impossible to keep up with what's happening.
Yeah.
Does any of the I know that they've started some physician recruitment, but for there's a lot of professions here that are still that need assistance, and there's a lot of specialties out there that are falling through our cracks, and I think that's the issue that we see. We can't help them, so we just want to make sure we have a place to send them. So this is wonderful.
Mhm.
Um, the ability to offer support is where who is do you think is your biggest population that you deal with generally? Is it mostly nurses? Because we obviously get lots of nurses. So um,
Well, our biggest number of profession specific would be doctors, definitely.
doctors for sure. Okay,
So
yes,
yeah,
because
uh, because a lot of them are like they look for the supports more proactively. That's one thing we have found, and they are more informed. That's another thing, and there are a lot of networks available to support them at the same time. But our program support is a little bit unique in terms of we offer certain services that many other community organizations don't have that level of support that is there. So we get a lot of referrals from other organizations as well, from community partners, or associations like you. So even from regulatory bodies, because the regulatory bodies need to know that where they can send people to so that they can be supported as well, right? So we get support from regulatory bodies. So uh, like the dental associations of Ontario. So we get support from them as well. But our largest number of in terms of the client base that we have currently, I would say the largest number of clients we have is from our doctors, international educated doctors. And the next in line would be our pharmacy graduates from various parts of the world. And we have currently, if I remember correctly, right now we have close to 6 nurses, and also we also have some physiotherapists, a lot of them, and at the same time we also have social workers, many of them within the healthcare space. So someone with a social worker background to support for the settlement needs and all those things. So that is also there, and also public health. Many of the people are from public health background.
Yeah, I think, and I think the biggest, and I think, and if I'm hearing you correctly, the physicians, physiotherapists, pharmacists, these are professions internationally that require navigating a regulatory structure, having an examination to get through.
Correct.
So there's a lot of knowledge translation when it comes to what is the expectation when you arrive in Canada. Yes, I understand I'm going to need to do this, so this is the reason. So yeah, so it's very much like it's self-selecting that that your program is looking for those who take their want to take their career seriously and really want to take advantage of every opportunity. So, which
That,
is good to know because you want people you want people who don't just deign to do this job. You want people who
Mhm,
actually are
mhm,
invest in it, and
mhm.
it seems like your supports are amazing. This is great. Well, you're getting kudos online for all the stuff you're offering. Uh, Yeah, so there's a lot of questions about whether or not we should be like the profits. There's a lot. I'm not going to comment their comments on Facebook, which are talking about for profits. Don't quite align to this thing, but I think it's important that there's more employers out there that know that this exists, and that they can build these bridges. So would this be open to someone, for example, if I had like if you were running a hospital kind of situation or a clinic, and you could bring in a an intern from do a 4 week intern for someone who's doing like an X-ray tech or something like that? Is that
Well, so if someone with those, there are some allied health professionals. So the allied health professionals, like someone who is maybe medical radiation technologies or maybe imaging or technologies. So uh, those kind of people we also support. We have also have the support for them because they are also part of the healthcare support systems, right?
yes?
So we also have our supports available for them, and right now we are supporting. If I remember, three of our clients are having a background similar to this. Yeah.
Good to know. Well, this is
Mm.
amazing. This
Yeah,
is good
of course.
information. I
Mhm.
think a lot of people, well, a lot of people that we're seeing in the chats and the comment right now, they're actually on our social media, not on this one, new figures.
Mhm,
So,
mhm,
but they're indicating that this is good to know that these exist out there. So, going forward, at least we know what we can do. Now, the other question I think we have is we get a lot of people sometimes just coming up to the association asking they're in another country. They don't come to you to start this immigration process at all. This is after you get here. I'm just saying this again just to make sure everyone understands this. This is for permanent residence holders. So I know a lot of people who be hearing this may have your work and study permits. If you're in a healthcare professional and you can join the association, do so. If you are a permanent resident and you're looking to take advantage and get some sort of work and support through Success, we would encourage you definitely reach out to Tasik. Tasik, if you want to share that screen again with the QV of the QRC code, we'd be happy to let you do that, and people
Sure.
can take what they like from it.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm going to see if there's
Definitely, no problem. I'll do that. Bear with me. And one more thing, it's not only about you. You can probably support someone else who you know from your network. Maybe someone within your network, maybe your friends, your family, they might be benefiting from this kind of things, the support that we prefer. Uh, so I'm not sure, Ian, do you see my screen?
it's just loading up now. I think it's being difficult.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
loading, I guess, somehow.
it's
It's not
okay.
loading. It's
Oh,
it's
don't
not
worry about it.
loading. Yeah.
Well, for those
So
these,
I'm gonna share it. Don't worry. I'm gonna share it. Just give me a second. Sometimes it happens.
oh,
Yeah.
it's important information. I think there's a lot of different associations in Canada that offer supports for immigrations, but I think what you're looking for this is very comprehensive, and it's very comprehensive. It seems 50 years of success. I That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, we are actually being like really successful in our program and other areas because in BC we have a lot of different programs. In Toronto we have only two, but still I would say that this is a lot to support everyone. So
Right.
because healthcare definitely in Canada needs a lot of different supports. And fortunately, there has been a few very recent changes that has happened, and now we can support more people through those programs. But be warned that each program has different levels of support. So not one program is the same than the other. And for us, if someone is going through some other programs, we still can offer our supports for them. So that's the best thing of our program, that we can offer our supports to anyone who is still registered with another nonprofit maybe.
Wonderful. So we'll make sure this is made available to our membership. So those who are watching, you want to just screenshot that, please do so. Use the QRC code to access the ACCEP-IEHP. Tasik, this is an excellent service. Hope we can for some of our members and community partners too. We work with lots of different people across Canada. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of advantages here, I'm sure, for a lot of companies that can take advantages, and especially for those who have their PR and looking to start their career on the right foot. I think this is excellent. So, and just one of the things that we've always noticed is back to what we were saying earlier about the cost of licensing. Sure, the cost of licensing is high in Canada and in whatever province you're in. You're going to need every support you can, including employment supports. If you can secure yourself subsidized employment to work to that, it's a win-win. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. So I do appreciate you taking the time to join me today, Tasik, and we're going to put this on YouTube and have it on our station, on our channel on social media. So feel free to revisit, and it's always a pleasure to speak with you. And thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And I must also appreciate your effort to set this thing up and
Oh,
be able to communicate our information with so many diverse healthcare professionals out there. And I look forward to see you more soon. And we look
well,
forward to partner further, definitely.
absolutely. And just one more shout out. December 15th to 22nd is the next registrate upcoming seminar. So those who are interested, that's the registration window. So December 15th to 22nd, contact Tasik and his
Now,
org.
I would say I correct you a little bit there. December 15 to 22 is our cohort training day.
Cohort training. Sorry, I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
and we continuously register new clients, so it's not there is no window. It
Okay.
doesn't matter when you want to register, so you can register anytime you want to, because some people think that, okay, I have an exam coming up next month, so I want to not join the next cohort, but I would like to join the cohort afterwards. So we are always open to that. So it's no there is no time limit that when you can register. You can register anytime you want to. And one more important thing that I want to add, that is that this training is not a mandatory component of our program. So if you have done a similar training, because some people go through other community agencies where they have similar training. So if you feel that, no, I'm confident that I know how to do like writing my resume, cover letters, because I have been taught about those things, if you want to skip that, we are open to help you skip that part too. So it's not a mandatory component for our program as well. So we can provide one-on-one support. That's what really matters. That's where everyone's support is really needed. So that's where we target. But definitely, cohort is something we welcome if someone hasn't gone through any Canadian kind of training on that, the workplace expectations and resume writing and CV, because many people have CV writing experience, but Canadian style resume and cover letter is a little bit different. It's not similar, same.
Yeah.
So that's something maybe that is why we encourage highly. And not only that, you have the chance to learn about the labor market, the healthcare labor market, where the roles are opening up, where you have opportunities. Someone who has an international background but don't know where you might fit in without a license. So that definitely helps a lot. The alternative careers, right? So in healthcare, that is where our supports definitely help. The workshop definitely is benefiting. I wanted to just clarify that. Thank you,
No,
Ian.
and I think and clarify that it seems like, I mean, it's really reiterating this is individualized service
Right,
regardless. So
right.
this is designed around the individual, not around the program. So this is
Mhm,
wonderful.
mhm.
Fantastic. It's such a pleasure. I do appreciate you coming to meet with us today. And for those, stay tuned. We have other podcasts that will be coming down the line. Stay tuned this Friday for our podcast with Trevor. But for everyone else, please follow up with Success. And we thank you again. And for those with PR, definitely reach out to Success and begin your career on the right foot. Thank you again.
Great. Thank you again, Ian. Thank you so much.
No problem. Much obliged, sir. Have a great
You
day.
too. Bye bye.
Bye.